Many Wisconsin fire departments say they are facing financial challenges that could pose a threat to the safety of residents, including those right here in our neck of the woods. Northern News Now's Michaela Wrench takes a look at the problem.
They respond to your calls when you need them, but that's becoming more difficult to do. According to a recent survey by UWO, Wisconsin fire departments are struggling to secure adequate and sustainable funding, recruit and retain firefighters, and meet growing service capacity needs. The Namekagon Fire Department is one of them.
We have difficulty the most with is gaining new members, new young members.
Chief Dave Hahn explained that recruiting is hard with limited funding, money used for experienced firefighters to pay for training, resulting in limited resources. He says this is common throughout the state, which is why neighboring departments have to rely on each other to serve communities.
So ultimately, there's only so many people in our area to provide the services. And if we're providing it for a neighbor, then we might not be available to provide it in our own area. So
Chief Stuart Mateus of the Ashland Fire Department says his team covers 6 surrounding communities. He says it's a never-ending cycle of understaffed and underpaid departments.
We won't have enough of the financial resources to continue to provide all the services that we provide and are asked to provide.
He explained when a new statute called Act 12 was introduced last year in the legislature, the state's intention was to increase shared revenue for all municipalities, including money for emergency services.
That has helped some, but it's just keeping up to the day-to-day requirements.
He says as costs continue to rise to run a department, the money from the state isn't keeping up, causing day-to-day resources like equipment to slowly take a hit. In Wisconsin, Michaela Wrench, Northern News Now.
Both Chief Mateus and Hahn say that they will continue to find ways to work around this funding challenge. In the meantime, they do say that all Wisconsin fire agencies meet regularly to discuss solutions to continue to serve their communities.